and Karen Moby here for Tech Republic. Happy to have here with me today the President and CEO of the Identity Theft Resource Center, Eva Velasquez. Thanks for being with us today, Eva.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So it seems like every time we turn around, there's a new way that criminals are infecting, our lives online. And what we're going to be talking about today here is some fake data breach notifications being sent out through Google Alerts. So I think a good place to start would just be, what is it and what's happening here that you guys are watching closely?
Well, the fraudsters are very clever in that they will often take a situation where there's a kernel of truth and then they spin it so that they can perpetrate their schemes. So data breach notifications, they are a real thing. Most of the time, it's a legitimate consumer tool. Most states require them by law, and they're to inform consumers when their information, their identity credentials, their data has been compromised. So the thieves, of course, realize that this is something that is concerning to people. They want that information. They are expecting them. It's really become part of our lexicon. So they are using these fake data breach notifications to grab your interest, make you think, oh, I need to have this information. I need to know if my data has been compromised. Now, they often will contain links to malicious pages. They can even contain a form or a document. And when you download a document, it can be infected with malware. And then you will turn around and you could infect your computer or even your system if you're on a network. So it's really important when you get any type of notification, including a data breach notification, that you go to the source. Don't click on any links, and certainly don't download any documents from that incoming communication. It's very different if you go to the website of the entity that's purporting to be breached than it is if you're responding to an email or a text or something like that.
So that's the really troubling thing here, obviously, is that what people sometimes think is a very benign, piece of information being sent to them that may or may not impact them. So they may click on it, and then this can happen. And when we talk about, malware, I mean, this can get to be a real problem for an individual or a company.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the bottom line is you do not want to have your machines infected with malware. And it runs the gamut from key loggers that can log every keystroke that you make because you're logging into your different accounts and they can obtain your password that way. They can get into all of the documents and the internal runnings of your computer. They can circumvent information. I mean, there's just a panoply of schemes that they can perpetrate once they have access to your machine. So you absolutely want to avoid it where possible. And by all means, please make sure that you have antivirus and malware detection software or programs on your computer, and make sure that you do patching when you get these updates. And it says, do you want to do this update? And everybody clicks no, not now, I'm busy. That is a really important part of protecting yourself, because those are addressing known vulnerabilities. And it's something that the hackers and the cyber criminals know that we don't look at as very important, and so we don't do it right away. But those are really simple things that you can do to make sure that your machine stays healthy.
Yeah, I think you just said the key thing, that the hackers, they know we get busy and we say, oh, I'll deal with that later and just X out of it. But there are tools, there are resources there available to us to make sure we are protected.
Absolutely. And this is a confusing space. We want people to realize they don't have to figure this out all by themselves. You're not alone out there. There are many organizations like the Identity Theft Resource Center that will give you information and advice for free. You don't have to do the guesswork. And when it comes to these fake data breach notifications, and frankly, data breach in general, we want people to know that we have some great tools and we've taken the guesswork out of it. So if you get a data breach notification and you're not sure if it's either legitimate or even what it means, please visit the ITRC website or our partner, Breach Clarity. Now, we have been capturing data breach data and information about data breaches since 2005. And we are using that data along with a partner to generate a risk score. We're sort of like earthquakes, you know, the Richter scale. You see that number and you understand intuitively the severity of that event. We are doing the same thing with data breaches. So our data is being used by Breach Clarity. They've built this amazing algorithm that gives you a risk score and tells you just how bad this particular breach is. And then, of course, it also tells you what your harms, potential harms could be, and what your remediation steps are. And of course, we're always available with our advisors, our one-to-one advisors. You can give us a call or live chat with us and ask a question, and we will steer you in the right direction. You don't have to respond to everything that's coming over the transom, every email, every text, every free offer. If you fill out this survey, you know, take a breath, think, and do a little research first. See if these things are legitimate, go to the source. And if you're still stuck, by all means, reach out to us or any of the other organizations that provide free services and get that advice before you click.
All right, some great advice there, Eva. I think it's really important too to remind people that these free resources are available. You know, they're at our disposal for a reason, and people need to
Mhm.
take advantage of the experience and the information that you all have collected there. Well, I know we're going to have a link here on our website to the Identity Theft Resource Center, and folks can go there to learn more about this specifically and other ways to keep themselves safe when online. So we appreciate you being with us here today, Eva.
Oh, so happy to be here. And I hope folks learned something and understand that they don't have to do this alone.
That's right. That's a great way to end it right there. All right, you guys. Well, thanks so much for watching us here today. Make sure you check out Tech Republic for much more.